Joining me now to get into that, Sky's political editor, Andrew Clennell. Andrew, welcome. We're really getting into the business end of things today. Hey, I thought you nailed it last night when you ran into the Treasurer and the Finance Minister in the lockup over the whole centrepiece of his tax cuts. Let's have a look again.
So these tax cuts in isolation are relatively modest.
They are modest. They're worth about that much a week.
In combination with the tax cuts that we're already delivering, the average tax cut's about $50 a week. So a pineapple.
These ones. You don't get them a pineapple this time. You're giving people a cup of coffee a week, aren't you?
Well, this is about topping up the tax cuts which are flowing already.
I love that that's the $5 note that he wants to take the Queen off the front of, but Katie Gallagher's face behind you is like you just ran over her cat. You backed it up today, though, in the press club remarks, your question to the Treasurer. Let's have a listen to that as well.
A budget that delivers generational debt without the generational dividend. $1 trillion in debt and growing, deficits as far as the eye can see, but barely anything else designed to survive beyond the election. And that's the biggest risk in this budget. Instead of laying out an economic vision, the government focuses on managing political perception. Both of those.
It was a bit longer, but you did warn him at the start he wasn't going to like the question. He clearly didn't. I mean, I just went through most of the papers today, journalists that Labor would have thought were friendly, and a lot of the questions to him today, it's not gone down well, this budget. They desperately need it to go well, though, for their political survival. So do you think they've done enough to save their hide last night?
Yeah, and what I was quoting there was Jim Chalmers' own words in May 2021. The last budget, well, the second last budget actually before the 2022 election. So I was pointing out, this is what you said about their budget. Look at your budget, it's the same. It's $1 trillion debt, it's full of deficits for a decade, and that's where you saw that other segment where I finished off by saying, are you a hypocrite, or don't you feel a hypocrite? And he should. Now, the tax cut thing was sort of a $17 billion look over here, which was quite effective with the paper coverage and the tabloid paper coverage, and fair enough too. People are more interested in the tax cuts than the numbers, as small as they might be. But ultimately, they were never going to get away with not copping some heat over the deficits. Out there, though, people probably only talking about the cost of living relief, let's face it. So can they get away with it? They might. They might. But I expect Peter Dutton in the budget reply speech to outline bigger tax cuts. That's what I'm anticipating. Okay. I've certainly got the signal that there's going to be something in there that will be a response to this, which I would assume was that. And I don't think that was the original plan. Both sides have been playing a game of bluff. Who's going to come first with tax cuts and will match? Now, the government would look silly if they matched whatever Peter Dutton has. But Peter Dutton's challenge now is to show that he can give bigger tax cuts but smaller deficits. Now, I think Jim Chalmers has made two mistakes. One is he should have. I'll just quickly say
jump in there on Peter Dutton.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, you go. No, you finish.
Well, I think he could have saved harder. I think he could have done more and not had to worry and to fund election promises. Like, I think it's a bit of laziness on him and Katie Gallagher's part not to work harder to get a better bottom line. You know, we've got very low unemployment in this country. You've got the mining, company taxes, etc., flowing. You've got the income tax flowing. So he could have done more in that area, and maybe his colleagues and the PM didn't help him out. Who knows? But I also think that could have allowed him to promise a bigger tax cut, and that would have taken Peter Dutton's ground. So there's opportunity for Peter Dutton, but it's a very contested space because he'll have to illustrate where he's going to make the savings, and without the power of incumbency, that can be a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, so I'll make a couple of comments there. And I think you're shrewd in your analysis there that he could have done more and hasn't done it. I think that's in part because they never thought they were going to deliver that budget. And if he doesn't think he's going to deliver it, the colleagues don't fear the ERC process. They don't pony up the savings that they have to. The cuts aren't made. You've got Katie Gallagher. I mean, she represents Canberra. She's not going to take the knife to the public service. So I think that's part of the problem here. I would be very concerned with any analysis that Peter Dutton's going to have a big all-singing, all-dancing tax cut tomorrow, because I can say from opposition, modelling complex tax cuts is not easy. It's why Rudd in 07 basically matched what Costello had on the table. And I also think if the government has got 70 cents a day on the table as their tax cut, 70 cents a day, I think most Australians find that insulting. If the opposition was even to double it, it's only $1.40. I mean, people are facing a hike in their mortgage under this government of $50,000, and to end up with, $6.70 by the end of the week as opposed to Labor's $5 bill, I mean, I don't think that's going to cut it. I think Dutton should be doing something like the indexation of tax rates so that you get out of this bracket creep situation. That's bold, that's very big, and it avoids that contrast with Labor. Well, one's giving me $5 a week, one's giving me $6.50, but none of that goes near the pain I'm facing at a household level. How likely do you think that might be?
But wouldn't that, I mean, he might try that, but wouldn't that cost so much? I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me.
No.
I think we could all agree with that policy.
Mate. Depends where it is. Depends where it is in the forward estimates. I mean, Gillard made an art form out of promising things on the long finger towards the end of the out years. No, she did, and no offence, mate, but most of the gallery bought it. So it depends where it slides in the forward estimates.
Well, yeah, you can do that, but then people are going to attack him the way you're attacking Gillard over it. And, funny about Gillard, isn't it? The NDIS, which Tony Abbott supported, by the way, is worth twice what the deficits are now. So... Yeah, I mean, you can really build some landmines in there. He's going to be held to account on this, whether it's in the forwards or not, because we have projections of a decade of deficit. So I think it's a tough ask for him. I don't think there's an easy way in, but look, I think it'll be bolder than doubling the tax cuts promise. It'll definitely be better than the tax cuts promise. He needs to show us the savings.
Yeah, I think it's a hamburger and a milkshake in the Vanstone parlance to touch the numbers there. I think reform, true reform and bracket creep's where he should go, but we'll see. Election timing. Talk now that they might pull it on Friday, perhaps even announce it tomorrow and cruel Dutton's pitch, but actually go to the polls from Friday. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing the PM hasn't made up his mind. He'll probably make up his mind with colleagues in the morning, and it could be Friday, Saturday or Sunday, but I don't expect him to hang around. I'd prefer Sunday myself. But, I mean, look, it's this uncertainty kills you. And I haven't seen it this uncertain in most elections. Most elections you get some sort of steer. I don't see the value in Friday, really. Especially if he promises bigger tax cuts, what's the value?
Oh, I think it looks tricky too.
So I think you get a better run out of Sunday, but I honestly think it's up in the air, and it seems like some colleagues must be pressing him for Friday. Probably this sort of tricky thing you're talking about. One of the Liberal guys actually said to me, "I'd do Friday," in terms of trying to cut Dutton off at the knees, but I don't think it would do that much really. I think look, if you're going to ask me to bet on it, I'm betting Sunday.
Look, it is what it is. It'll be what it is, and we'll be ready to run when that's the case. Thank you, Andrew.